Hey Bears, so today we're going to be talking about these different types of relationships and how to find an unknown based on what we know about the angles. So we're going to go through 4 different kinds. I'll walk you through some examples, and then through the next 2 days you guys are going to work on a set of task cards. So it'll be worked on today and tomorrow, and then just be due by Friday. So the first type of angles are complementary angles. They are angles that add up to 90 degrees, which we already know those are called right angles. So if you notice, they have a right angle symbol right here. They add up to 90 degrees. So whatever the value of angle 1 is, plus the value of angle 2 need to equal 90 degrees. So let's say that angle 1 was 50 degrees. I would need to add angle 2 in order to equal 90, and so hopefully we can figure out that angle 2 needs to be 40 degrees. So 50 plus 40 would give us that 90 degree, and it has to be 40. It can't be 38, it can't be 29. Angle 1 plus angle 2 needs to equal 90 degrees if we're dealing with complementary angles. Supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180 degrees. They're a straight line. They may also be called linear angles. So angle 1 plus angle 2 needs to equal 180. So if angle 1 was 130 degrees, angle 2 would need to be 50, and that would give us a total of 180 degrees. All right, vertical angles are lines that are equal. They are when we have intersecting lines, they create 2 sets of equal angles. So they are also directly across from each other. So angle 1 is equivalent to angle 2. Angle 3 is equivalent to angle 4. So I guess my question to you guys is, let's say angle 3 is 40 degrees because it's acute. That should tell us, since angle 3 is equal to angle 4, that angle 4 is also 40 degrees. But if we notice, if we kind of, let me grab a shape here, block out this bottom part. All right, angle 1 and angle 4, which is 40, create a straight line. They create a linear straight line, also known as a supplementary angle. So supplementary angles add up to 140. So we should know, based on that, what angle 1 has to be, which is 140 degrees. And based on our vertical angles, we know that angle 2 is also 140 degrees. So kind of based on one angle, sometimes you're able to figure out several more based on that. This is called kind of transversals, which we'll get into more next week. But for right now, just know that vertical angles are equal angles. They're directly across from each other. And the last thing, we have adjacent angles. Adjacent angles share a side. So the part that basically angle 1 and 2 are adjacent here. So they share this side length right here. I'll make it a different color. That's the one they share, right? Angle 1 is this area right here. Angle 2 starts here and goes up that red line. They share that red line. If we go back to complementary angles also share a side. They share this line right here. However, they are never going to be referred to as adjacent angles. It's good to know. We know that complementary angles are also adjacent, but complementary is more specific. So when we're referring to our angles, we want to get as specific as we can, because all adjacent angles aren't necessarily complementary. Supplementary angles follow the same suit as well. They share a side length, but they're also supplementary. That's more specific than just saying, oh yeah, they share a side. Supplementary says, oh yeah, they share a side, and they equal 180 degrees. So if they're supplementary, we call them that. If they're complementary, we call them that. If they are adjacent and nothing else, that's when we say, oh yeah, this is an adjacent angle. All right, the next 2 slides are just kind of practice for you guys. If you want to grab a piece of paper, a group did these in class. So we know if 1 is 45, supplementary angles, they need to equal 180. What is angle B going to be? So there's a few to test you out. Same with complementary. Complementary angles equal 90 degrees. So find out what angle B needs to be if they equal 90. So the part that you guys are going to be focused on today is you're going to have to solve for x. So this is kind of that solving for an unknown. Very similar to a one-step or two-step equation, which we just got done with our previous unit. So these are complementary angles that equal a right angle. And if we just have x and another unknown, we know that 90 equals 14 plus x. If we subtract 14 on both sides, 76 has to be our x value. I'm pretty confident we can do those pretty okay. The part that's a little different is when we have a variable involved. So if we have a variable involved, like one side here is 10x plus 6 and the other side is 24. It's still angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. So you will take this entire value, add it to this value, and set that equal to 90. So that's what we did down here. Then we can combine our like terms. 6 and 24 can easily get added together. They're integers. So we end up with 90 equals 30 plus 10x. Take 30 from both sides. You get 60 equals 10x and x equals 6. If you plug in that x value for 6, you end up with 60 plus 6, which is 66. 66 plus 24 equals 90. So you can still check your x value and make sure that you're getting the right solution. On the next one with supplementary slides, same thing. X plus 58 needs to equal 180. Set those equals, solve for x. If you have an x value and another value, it's still angle 1 plus angle 2 needs to equal 180. So set those equal to 180. Combine your like terms, which in this case are both integers. We get 130. Subtract 130. 50 equals 5x. X equals 10. So over the next 2 days, that's what you're going to be asked to do. Let me pull this up. So you have this missing task card assignment. It's a little lengthy because this part will be completed over a 2-day period. And it's really important. If you knock it all out today, all power to you. But you guys have 2 days to complete it. So the most important part of this is that you are having an answer. Whoops. All right, sorry about that. You guys have an answer sheet. So this is where all of your answers are going to go for your slides. So like angle slide 3, not angle 3. 3 through 14 are all about supplementary angles. So those need to add up to 180 degrees. They do have an x equals box. But once we get our answer for number 3, so 180 minus 127 is 53. If you're watching this, there's answer 1. So in box 1, we'll write 53. Be sure that you are matching the card number and not the slide number. So this is slide 3, but it's card 1. So card 1 goes in box number 1. The first 14 slides are supplementary. Then they switch colors and they also restart numbering. So the complementary angles restart their number, and number 1 goes in box 1. This is the slide that I am checking. So just be sure everything is written down on there. If you have questions, everybody's virtual today. So if you have questions, I'm pretty flexible to meet with you, answer any questions via email. Let me know if you guys need anything. Otherwise, guys have a good weekend if I don't hear from you, and I'll see you guys next week.